What's up? We live. All right, let's get into it. About to wait for, at least one person in here. I'm starting kind of late. Ain't gonna be in here too long, I'm just coming in, got a little message, and I'll be in and out your way. It never could reach your ultimate goal. Hope everybody's having a great week, man. Started the week, a lot of changes going on in the world. I know, a lot of, things going on out, outside of us. Some things we cannot control, some things that we can't control. But, aside from what we can't control, what we could control, I just pray everybody has a great week, positive week. Just send a blessing, send a love and positivity and abundance and prosperity out there to you all. And just, I just hope everybody's doing well. We're going to get started here. About in another 30 seconds, I'm going to get started. Yeah. I appreciate all the love from the last live, too. I appreciate all that comments and the feedback. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Very grateful, and I'm thankful for you all. Y'all just, tuning in and listening to me speak. I appreciate it. Appreciate the shares and, it's just been going good. I appreciate it. Really do. All right. We're going to get started. Let's say, no, I'm all good. Oh, hey, Miss Montgomery, how you doing? All right, we're going to get started. So we're going to be talking about acceptance and rejection. Do not take no for an answer, and the power in intentions. All right, so to begin, acceptance and rejection. Prior in the week, I had a conversation about, what is God? And a friend of mine, he was saying that, God is basically the paraphrase, no one is perfect to God. And, we are all condemned and should feel the wrath of God because, no one is perfect, and God is telling us or, urging us to be. What is happening? What's going on? It urged us to be, perfect. And, it was an interesting conversation, but the main thing is, I was relaying the message that God is acceptance. And a lot of us, going through, life right now, we don't feel accepted, within our environment, within the engagements that, we're in, within our relationships, within ourselves, we feel that, we're unaccepted, or, we have to do a lot more, or we have to do, less or act less to come off this certain type of way. And the thing is that, no one, tells us, or no one, invokes in us that, we're capable and, we're abundant already as it is. And God accepts us, for who we are. I think he knows, exactly what we're going through and exactly what, our lives is trying to teach us and everything. And he understands with the trials and the tribulations that we have to go through. So how you doing, Mr. Thomas? So granted, he always, says to have faith in him and believe. So God is really about acceptance. And the thing is that, we can see it, today that people may feel confused. People may feel, astray internally, and they need their external references to dictate or to validate how they should feel internally. So now, we have a lot of, people in, the LGBT, for example, we have, a lot of people in the LGBT community, the LGBTQ plus community. And, not to say that I'm swaying and giving respect or not giving, I respect that community for one. And all, love and prosperity and abundance goes out to them. But I appreciate you. Go to be just like your father. But thank you. Thank you, Miss Montgomery. But yeah. So a lot of us, we're looking for external references to tell us how we should feel inside. And the thing is this is that now we got to walk on eggshells in order to talk to people. We got to walk on eggshells in order to, not be offensive and everything. And the thing is this is that if you it kind of makes it unfair to people that it takes away from people being themselves. And the thing is, and it takes away from people being themselves. And I think the main message in that is that to feel secure and to have security is to be abundant. And when you are abundant, then you're not really looking for external references. You don't have to have any external references. Some of us believe that in order to look outside, we have to have certain things in a certain type of way, or else, we're going to feel, astray. But the thing is that your garden, your home within you, your heaven within you is going to always depict on how you're going to see the world. So if you're in a positive state of being, you'll be more inclined to see the world in, a positive state. If you're in a negative state of being, then you'll see the key points and, things that give you frustrations and things of that sort. The thing is that those things were always there. Those things that frustrated you were always there, and those things that were positive was always there. It's all about it perception. But God is acceptance. And in order for us to be in our godly state, it's just in order for us to accept everybody as they may come. And granted, if that means to, walk on eggshells, and that means sometimes to walk on eggshells, that just means, just to be abundant, because granted, you accept people for who they are and the decisions and the choices they do make. That doesn't take away from you being a woman or you being a man. It doesn't take away from your masculine divine energy or your feminine divine energy. Granted, if some people need that type of sensitivity level, then let's not marginalize them. Let's not castrate them. If anything, let's, amend, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's accommodate them. You know what I mean? Because we all on this planet. And you learn through examples. You learn through rhetoric. You learn through, living. And when they see how you live and they see, how you are, then granted, they might change their perception on how they can come off. Now, rejection part of it, the thing is this, a lot of us, and I know for myself in the past, and I'm currently dealing with it because, rejection means to get out your comfort zone. And when you get out your comfort zone, you will be faced with opposition as well as you will be faced with acceptance. But what does that mean when you're faced with opposition? What is that? So the thing is that rejection is necessary. Rejection is a test to show your humility. So whenever you go through rejection, you feel that, man, granted, I'm never going to try this again. Oh, they're missing out on me. The thing, oh, nah, what, say no to me? Granted. And the thing is that, rejection is just a necessary tool and a test to show the universe of your humility. If you could take it with a grain of salt and be like, hey, you know what? I put my best foot forward. I tried and I attempted. And granted, the outcome was not favorable to what I wanted or to my expectations, but it doesn't mean that life is over. It doesn't mean that, the end is here. Granted, you always have to persevere, and persevering is strength. Strength is perseverance. And what persevere means is to be consistent and to go through and to follow along your path, because there will be stumbling roadblocks, but that's just only a test. And the thing is this, a lot of us, a lot of youth, a lot of my generation, we say positive vibes only, positive vibes only, positive vibes only. And, I appreciate that hashtag, But at the same token is that whenever you do encounter a troll, whenever you do encounter, negativity, those people have way more power over you just because, positive vibes only. You have a lot of yes men around you. You have a lot of people that's like, oh yeah, man, you know what, you doing your thing, man, you doing your thing. All these yes people, all these compliments, everybody's just showing love and giving you, praises and everything. And as that may be feeling good and everything, that's not the real world. That's not reality. You got to understand that you will be faced with opposition. And the thing is this, when you overvalue positivity, you give the trolls a lot more power over you. So, AKA, you run the risk of being spiritually weak when faced with adversity. So, always, abundance is just that, being abundant. If you could take rejection with a grain of salt, you have a troll in your, in your immediate environment or in your engagement, in your dialogue, in your conversation, then granted, it's just going to be like, oh, you know what? That's their opinion. And if they are, have a kind of a valid point, take it with a grain of salt. Apply it to yourself and then take it. The thing is that, a lot of us, we want things to be served on a silver platter. And what I mean by that, we don't want to come off harsh. We don't want to come off, rude, or we want to be so quick at the mouth. We want to, kind of, have a little bit of cadence how we talk and how we present ourselves. But not everyone is like that. Not every upbringing is like yours. So with that being said, is that take everybody for how they are, and that goes 360 to accept them. Accept them for how they are because you can see the God in them. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they didn't have the same resources that you have. A lot of us didn't have the same two-parent household or households, that value certain moralities and certain, aspects in them. But that doesn't mean that we shame or we guilt those that come out of those situations. You know what I mean? So always understand that God is acceptance and you're made in God's image. So accept everyone for who they are. Rejection is necessary because it tests your humility. And overvaluing positivity can run the risk of being spiritually weak when you're faced with adversity. Moving on. So don't take no for an answer. All right? So I know y'all be thinking like, whoa, you just said, take rejection with humility. What you mean by don't take no for an answer? What I mean by don't take no for an answer is be consistent on your path. So what's in your path is destined for you. All that's in your path is for you, for no one else but you. So with that being said, is when you're on your path and you have to get to point A to point B, you don't give up. You don't give up on yourself. You don't give up on your dreams. You stay consistent. There's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people. It's going to be people, places, and things that'll throw you off your path or that'll influence you to go off your path and pay more attention in that subject. The thing is that you have to have somewhat of a tunnel vision and stay focused and understand that, okay, this is my path. This is what entails for me. And granted, this is what I need to be doing. So I know in my life right now, I work, I like to exercise, I like to work out. I believe in cardio, and cardio helps out a lot. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys, they like to look big and everything. And, a lot of us, we like to look, fit and everything. But understand, cardio, if you're faced with a situation where you need to defend yourself, you better have some cardio about yourself. Because if you get gassed, and what I mean by gas, if you run out of breath, you lose. You're losing that type of battle. And you got to understand that when you're defending yourself, it's a slow dance. So with that being said, kind of take cardio. And cardio relieves the stress. It affects with your cortisol. Walk every day. Try to, kind of get outside and walk every day. Because a lot of us, or what America, or what, the world is now is pushing, stay at home, watch TV, get out there and walk, exercise yourself, kind of get out there in the world and see the world for what it is, you know what I mean, or what it can be. So how do you respond to a no, aka rejection? In the workplace, if you ever trying to get a job and the interviewer says, you know what, we're moving on with somebody else, then granted, you respond to that, or I would suggest you respond to that with gratitude, showing gratitude and thanking him for at least the opportunity to showcase what you can bring to the table, and ask why I didn't, get the job, or what I could be doing differently. And the way, that tells them is that, okay, this is not the end of the road for him. He's persistent in his path and or her path. And granted, we can all use things. We don't have all the answers and everything. Everything is a learning process. So that being said, it helps you move better within the future. Now, in relationships, say if you're in a relationship and, in your relationship, you're hit with the no, or you're trying to get into a relationship, you're hit with the no, aka rejection. How do you combat that, or how do you respond to that? And responding to that is to humbly back off, So granted, if someone's no, you got to understand that individuals are individuals, and that certain time, place, and date may not have been going for them in their life at that time, or they might just not be feeling you altogether. But AKA, it's always a blessing in disguise. Take it all with a grain of salt. If someone's like, you know what, not feeling you, or if they give you, or even blow up in your face and try to ostracize, a no, and be like, you know what I mean, all that, then, just humbly always be content and back off, and, be like, hey, you know what, it is what it is, just thank you for your time. And, you move away. But see, what that shows is that, what it shows your environment, and I always understand people are always watching. What it shows your environment is that, okay, granted, this is somebody that I can, have on my team. This is somebody that I can, kind of take the lead. Somebody that I can, believe in, and things of that sort. And it teaches them as well, if they were ever faced with that type of situation, on how to react to. You gotta understand, everyone's always watching, and not to say that you're doing it for appeasement. You don't want to, I don't even care about appeasing others. I don't do this to show off or anything like that. It's just, granted, you know better, so you do better. And always name your price, and AKA know your worth. So whenever you're over here, you have a business for yourself. Whenever you have, a certain type of, a program or thing that you want to start pushing out, you got to know your worth, and that's by naming your price. So with that, you're naming your price and everything, it's like, boom, you're staying consistent, name your price. A lot of, one of my homeboys, he started a party promotion group. And at the time, when he started it, we were housemates at the time. What's up, Blair? We were housemates at the time. And basically, he's popping right now. He's doing this thing. And a lot of my partners, or a couple of my partners, they was like, man, y'all used to live together, man. Man, just, shoot, man, go ahead and, see if we can go to the front of the line, see if we can get in. And the thing is that, when you respect somebody's craft and you respect the hustle, then you don't take away from the hustle. You don't use your friendship. You don't use, who you are in your relationship for your gain. You respect them, and, you say, granted, hey, this is me respecting you, man. You did this from the ground up. You've been consistent. You over here show hard work, faith, and dedication, and look where it's brought you. So you support that. What's going on, Blair? What's popping? So you support that. And what that is AKA you show empathy. So a lot of us, we like to think for, oh, yeah, well, me. And, that's cool, because you got to be selfish in order to get to the next level in life or within your path. You got to understand, you got to put yourself first. But when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to another human being, or when it comes to dialogue and conversation, when someone's relaying their feelings to you, when someone's, relaying a message to you, or just relaying, just themselves to you, it's always wise to show empathy, kind of put themselves in, yourselves in your shoe. Put yourselves in their shoes and things of that sort. So, growing up, I'm the oldest, and I had to do that, a lot with, my brothers and my sister. I like to put myself in their shoes. And growing up, I really didn't do that. I actually just always thought about myself. But it was a point in time where I seen that it was a better way to go about that. And now whenever they call, or whenever we could talk and everything, I try to put myself in their shoes and see how they see things and everything because of my life experiences and what I've been through, and some things I want to prevent. And that's just the love that I have for them, because it's a lot of heartache out here. It's a lot of experiences that can bring you heartache and pain. And even though pain is a beautiful teacher and heartache is a beautiful lesson, if you could prevent somebody by just giving them a lesson already, just preventing or giving them prevention, through the way you live your life and your lifestyle, then it's wise to do so. And the last but not least, we have power and intentions. All right, so I have this class called Global, or Intro to Global, and basically we pick out a country and we look at everything in the country. We look at the legal system, we look at excuse me, we look at the healthcare, we look at the overall view, the way they live, basically. So we look at everything in this country, right? So we had a conversation talking about equality, and they was like, oh, we're all born equal, we're all, living equal. And then, it came to me on my opinion on equality or inequality, and I said, the harsh truth is that there's no such thing as equality. I said, this government that we're in, this is a capitalistic government. And for people, that don't know what capitalism is basically, in order to be at the top, somebody has to be at the bottom. So in order for me to be a manager, I have to have an employee. In order for me to be CEO, I have to have a branch manager. In order for that branch manager to be a branch manager, he has to have associates and sales associates and things of that sort. And what capitalism teaches us is that your boss will never pay you as much to live right next to him, right? So that's the problem with the American people. Some American people, they say, well, doggone, we should all have a say. We should all, have a say on who gets paid what and who gets paid this and that. And now we're reaching it to socialism. So socialism is saying that, hey, you know what? He should have a position. 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 We should all have a position and everything. But the thing is that not everyone has the best intentions in that position. And whenever certain individuals get power, they start to abuse that power upon others because, they're not thinking of empathy. They're not putting themselves in other people's shoes. They're over here thinking about themselves. So how do we combat that? I guess let's pay everybody the same, right? AKA communism. So what communism is saying that the plastic surgeon gets paid the same just as well as the garbage man. So now you over here have value in jobs. Whoa, his job is way more valuable than his job, right? So then we go all the way back to capitalism, this job and that. So the thing is this, there's really no such thing of equality. So she rebuttal, she says, oh, well, that's why I like to practice law, because if you practice law, then you know what, you can get to a solution. And though that may be true, the misconception of law is that even if you have a bad intention, if you can practice the law to the degree where you practice the law fairly, then you can still ruin that person's life. So if you have the intention to ruin someone's life, but you could practice the law fair and to the degree where you're applicable, then granted you ruined their life, but you were still in the confines of the law. So at the end of the day, law and laws are really, they save people and they prevent things from happening and they give you justice, but just as well, they provide a way for injustice. They provide a space for injustice. They provide a space for heartache. They provide a space for pain too as well. Just because, you could practice the law to the degree. So now it's like, all right, well, if the world is inequality and if it's no equality, then how do we change the world? You change the world through life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And those are all falling under the doctrine of your intentions. So within your life, you over here say, you know what, this is my life. I want to live it how I seem fit. I want to be recognized as this, that, and such. I want to be this person. I want people to respect that. That's your life. Your liberty, your liberation, that's your sovereignty. That's you becoming an individual. That's you saying that, you know what, this is my morality. This is what I believe in. This is what I stand for. This is what I, execute, and this is what I push out, and this is what I take in. Your pursuit of happiness, that's being consistent. This is my path. This is everything that's meant for me is for me in this path, and I will not stop until I will over here have heaven on earth. But see, the thing is this, is that heaven on earth starts within, and heaven on earth is reflected from within, without. So if you're looking to go to California because of the palm trees and the nice ocean waters and the clear waters and everything, but yet and still you feel depressed inside because you're lonely out there and you don't know anybody and no one's reaching out to you and everyone's on a certain path and everyone's trying to make it for themselves, then you went out there lacking. You went out there on a slippery slope type of mindset. So you got to always remember to internalize and see what's within, and then within is going to reflect on the out. So yeah, I wasn't going to be on here long today. It was shorter than probably the other ones. But today we talked about, just an overview, we talked about acceptance and rejection. We talked about that God is acceptance, rejection is necessary. It is a test to show your humility, and overvaluing positivity could run a risk of you being spiritually weak when faced with adversity. To not take no for an answer, that is to stay consistent on your path. Responding to no, aka rejection, within the workplace by showing gratitude for the opportunity and what you could have done differently. In your relationships, if you experience a rejection, to humbly back off and to understand that that's a blessing in disguise. And to always name your price and be willing to work with others and to showing empathy. And we also talked about the power and intentions. There's no such thing, the harsh truth, there's no such thing as equality or inequality, but there is a such thing as percentage level. So whatever percentage level that you put into something is what you're going to get back. If you put a positive percentage level, or you put a percentage level into your life work, if you put a percentage level into your family, if you put a percentage level into your home, if you put a percentage level into your hobbies, whatever you put in, as much as you put in is what you'll receive back. And in order to change the world through life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, all starts with your intentions. And I like to close out with this poem from Bishop Don Magic Juan. Here we go. Whatever problem, trouble, or sorrow, if you trust in the Lord, there'll be a brighter tomorrow. For there is nothing too much for the great God to do, and all that he asks is faith that is unshaken by tribulation and yield, content in knowledge that God knows best, and trouble and sorrow they are only a test. But without God testing of our soul, it can never reach its ultimate goal. So keep on knowing and believing that all that God has promised you will be yours to receive if you trust him completely and always believe. And so it is. All right, y'all. So I appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in, Chulo, man. And like I always say, do not let anybody make you feel shame. Do not let anybody make you feel guilty, because for what you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean? And knowing is half the battle. So don't let anybody make you feel shame. Don't let anybody make you feel guilt. That is the lowest vibrational level that is on the Hawkins scale, or that just is. You can revert back to the Hawkins scale and you can see the modalities of vibrational level, and shame and guilt are the two lowest. Enlightenment is the highest. Don't let anybody make you feel shame. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty. Those are lazy energies. All right. And man, I just hope that everyone has a great week, a stellar week. I'll be back on next weekend, probably Saturday or Sunday. Hopefully I have a guest with me. And we already talked about that. And a couple of y'all probably know who he is. Real cool person, real cool guy. Can't wait for y'all to see that. But like, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for tuning in. And, I give out the love, positivity, abundance, and prosperity. Y'all keep on doing what y'all got to do. All right? Love y'all. I holla.